was just about to record and I just saw this post, yet everyone is bearish right now because this is the state of things right now. U.S. Crypto Strategic Reserve. This is one little piece of it, but you see Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano. On this U.S. Crypto Strategic Reserve, we have a crypto summit tomorrow. I want to look at the altcoin chart today. This is excluding top 10. It's actually excluding all of those cryptos that we just saw. I want to be real. I actually, even in this video, want to talk to the people that are just like, it's a bear market, we're going lower. I want to actually speak to that scenario. But as we track this data, I think it's very important now to kind of start more closely watching the monetary cycle that we are within play out. Every monetary cycle is going to be unique in its own way. There's different things, different factors that are in play. But the upside of this chart is becoming incredible, an incredible opportunity. So hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. And I want to start with just two things that are playing into this monetary cycle. And I think most people that are macro investors are just, they're waiting. They're waiting for this shift, the end of quantitative tightening. Not even quantitative easing beginning, but the end of QT. And here's what we have going on. I think a lot of people, there's been all this talk about the tariffs and Trump's just destroying everything. I don't think people remember that his first term, he had tariffs. He implemented tariffs. And I just saw this post, and this is such a good illustration of kind of what I've been saying. Short-term pain, long-term gain, Trump tariffs 2.0 playing out, and it's overlaid on Trump tariffs 1.0. That was his last term. But you can see initially in the beginning of his term, kind of this downside, and then what happened. And I found this so interesting because this plays into what I talked about in last night's video. You can see, and this is very speculative time frame wise, but you can kind of see March into April, this bounce. And what we were talking about in yesterday's video was this. Colin has been kind of really talking a lot about the global M2 money supply and this kind of 72-day leading indicator, and he has March 25th as kind of this bounce area. I thought it was interesting because when you look at that with this tariff data and Trump 2.0 data, you're seeing how these things are coming together. But this isn't even the most, this is very important, but I would say the most important chart is this chart. This is the US dollar right now. And what I want to just, before we're going to really do some analysis on that very briefly, and then we're going to look at the altcoin market cap. And I think it's data, especially if you're just like, if you're here and you're like, I'm just here long term, you're going to want to see this. You're going to want to see these potential next moves on altcoin markets. But as you know, we've been tracking, we just talked about tariffs, the Trump 2.0 data, right? So here's Trump 1.0 back here on the US dollar chart. Here we are on this chart. We're looking at the M2 money supply chart. And I took the fractal of Trump's first term on the US dollar, as you know, and we've been tracking this for quite some time now, right? Even before we really started falling in the way we are. But what I wanted to point out to you is if you look at Trump's first term, that's where we are now. This is 2017, what the dollar was doing, right? So we have January 2017, Trump's coming into office, dollar's just bouncing around, starts falling. Notice the moving averages, the 20, the 50, so that green and blue, and then both of those moving averages falling below the red, the 200, and just look at the US dollar falling away from all moving averages right here. If we go and we look at right now on the US dollar chart, and I think this is just important to pay attention to, we just had the 20 cross below the 50, and right now we have both kind of heading towards the 200. We just saw the US dollar cross below the 200-day moving average. So this move that is playing out right now is very reminiscent of the US dollar falling back here. All of this is important because this was basically the last bull market, right? That's what's happening here. And that's the US dollar falling. So it's very important if we're going to anticipate at the very least, and there's no guarantees this will play out, but if we're going to anticipate that we're about to get this move right now, it's time to be ready. And I wanted to kind of speak to that on the altcoin chart. So two things I want to mention to you. Number one, I do not think we've had the altcoin bull run yet. I think a lot of people don't think so. One thing that is glaringly obvious is these cycles are changing in a very powerful way. And you can just see if we're going to kind of compare it time frame wise to previous cycles, we're kind of like lagging, right? Right now, I think a lot of people are anticipating kind of this breakout move, multi-month breakout move, by the way, but kind of the start of it. And it's not happened. You can even just see the consolidation of the moving averages, the squeezing of them still at this moment of the cycle is out of the ordinary. I don't think that's a bear indicator. I think that is an incredibly powerful indicator, and it could be a very strong illustration of there's a lot of manipulation happening. There's a deregulation shift. There's a new era for crypto happening, and the whales want to get in. The big money wants to get in, and the manipulation is allowing them to, and we are just kind of suppressed on this chart. This is the altcoin chart. This is excluding top 10 cryptos. But if we go back now, so first things first, I don't think we've had the bull run for altcoins, and I think that's a good thing. We go back to the weekly. The setup is here for all these things that we just talked about. And I don't know if it's going to be end of March, April for a continuation. I'm almost done with trying to pinpoint the exact week that we're going to get a breakout. The macro charts are where it's at, everybody, to prepare for. I think the move is coming. I think it's going to be powerful. Besides everything that we're talking about, this is in play. This is not even a crypto headline, but Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says the Trump administration is working on abolishing income tax payments to the IRS. Wouldn't it be amazing to stop paying taxes to IRS, have the External Revenue Service replace our taxes? That's the goal of Trump. He's going to do everything he can to make that happen. So you sprinkle in things like this that are happening right now in the United States, and then you take that and you're like, crypto summit tomorrow. What's going to happen with crypto taxes? This isn't even a crypto headline right here, right? What's going to happen with crypto taxes? Then you go back to this chart and you're just like, if we're going to have an altcoin bull market, it could be one of the most powerful altcoin bull markets we've ever seen. But here's the thing. I want to speak to downside very briefly because you all know I always say anticipate everything, expect nothing. What if we're anticipating downside? If we just want to anticipate downside, I think right now is just a good opportunity. If people are getting new into crypto, and right now I think is a good opportunity in terms of all of the macroeconomic, the monetary cycle data that we're looking at, and it's very surface level. I'm not digging into this like crazy, but you can see how a very big shift, pendulum shift is happening. Right now is a good opportunity. But what if altcoins just fall? Historically, if we go back all the way back here to like 2 cycles ago, we have this 200-week moving average on this chart, like, 33% below the 200-week. We have the COVID 47%. That's just a mass fear capitulation. We have the previous bear market. We have 35% below. This dip and consolidation back here, 16% below. If you just took, I don't know what the average is of all those dips below the 200-week moving average, but if you just took and you said 300 or maybe 30% below, right? From where we are right now, like what if this move happens? Here's the one thing I know. It won't be an enjoyable thing. And I'm not predicting this. This isn't me saying it's going to happen at all. You all know what I think is going to happen. But I'm just saying, if you're here and you have some patience, and you think crypto is here to stay, and really all the deregulation and the innovation that this technology brings to the entire world, not just in America, if this happens, this could be probably the last monumentally powerful retail opportunity to get into crypto. That's what that would be. And I'll be here doing videos within that dip if it happened. I just want to throw that out there. But I think just doing that exercise puts things into perspective. And at the end of the day, everybody, I'm not so sure that move is even going to happen. Because think about how things are truly coming together. And with that said, I want to get your thoughts. Where do you think we are on this chart? Because I just posted this. I'm really in disbelief about how crypto is undergoing an epic pendulum swing into golden era. It really is insane. Think about it. Just months ago, Gensler was here attacking everybody. We didn't know if Trump was going to win. We didn't know if we're going to have this pro-crypto administration in play. And now it's in play. And the promises they made, they are keeping. And we're just at the beginning of it. This is all playing out in real time. It's possible we're actually still in the disbelief phase of the cycle. And you go to this chart, it is very possible that's where we are. Comments and social media sentiment, probably even on this very video, even backs up this theory that we're in disbelief. We have no clue how crazy things are about to get. So let me know where you think we are. Maybe we're in optimism, right? People are just like, this rally's real. Things are about to get crazy. Maybe we're in a recovery is possible. But on this chart, you can see we're just suppressed. So where do you think we are? I think there's a very strong possibility we are at the very beginning of the move upwards. So these are my thoughts today. Not much happening in terms of price action. The dollar is probably the most intriguing chart if you're in crypto to watch right now. And we'll continue keeping an eye on it. We'll continue tracking altcoins, the volatility of it. And as we go into tomorrow, the crypto summit, we'll continue tracking that news. So if you're out there and not a subscriber, please subscribe, turn notifications on, hit the link below, get into our Discord, brand new Discord. We're building a platform I'm very excited about and would love to have you in there. It's probably a good idea if you have any interest in a platform, just a crypto intelligence and data platform, analytics platform. Probably a good idea to get into the Discord now because just the early members, it's probably just a good idea to get in there. So appreciate you. Hit the subscribe once again. And if you enjoyed the video, smash the like. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day and God bless.